Welcome to a Madness Comic Network special edition with Pops Van Zant, your co-host, the Richness, and the lady that steals the show, Dory Jones. We are here tonight.
I try not to steal the show, and then it just happens.
We are here tonight with our friends, Chris and Diana Tamulevich. I love saying that name. It just rolls off the tongue. Tamulevich. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Hello, lovelies.
Hello.
I can't bear. I gotta fix some volume because I can't hear nobody. Go ahead, talk.
Talk. Okay.
Well, we may need to replace this mic. I'm not happy with the quality of it. I mean, not tonight, but ultimately in the next few days.
It sounds fine.
Does it sound
fine? I can hear you fine. I just needed to turn my stuff up. It was all.
He had it turned down because I was his co-host on the show before this. He's like, I can't with this woman.
So how we doing?
We all just ate. We were just established.
We did too, yeah.
It was my first food of the day, like I was commenting earlier, like I can't speak for others, but I have to remind myself to eat. I have to actually almost set a reminder.
Wow.
Like it's that bad sometimes. And Chris may relate. It's usually when I'm doing a lot of art.
Yeah.
I was painting most of the day until our show earlier, and I'm not thinking about food while I'm creating art.
Well, when I tell you guys that like she literally kept me alive, if she didn't like come home and remind me that it was dinner time, I would be eating Slim Jims at about 12:30 at night, wondering why I had my stomach hurt in the morning because I thought that was a meal.
It's the only time I've ever really thought as a woman to like, I wish I had a guy to bring me a sandwich. I'm the one making sandwiches, but I would need a sandwich maker.
I do want you guys to know 8 p.m. on a Monday. Hard time to grab viewers, man. It's like
I know.
Ethan's over there with like 1,200 people watching him because he's got everybody. He's got Fraga and all the big boys are all in one place. So everybody's over there watching him. So we're going to hope for some replay action.
Exactly, man. Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll leave it up on the YouTube channel as the featured video. You guys know how to do it.
Yeah, we never worry about views. I never
We have to remember to talk to the people that are watching the replay as well as those who come watch live.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are going to be people that are going to check in here later to see what we were talking about. And, so acknowledging the people that watch the replay. What's up? Thank you for tuning in. This is what's happening.
This is very true. Like I was glad when I learned how to look at analytics in my YouTube or on my channels, because it's reassuring when I look back and I go, oh, wow. Like I may not have had people live, like actually like actively but there's a lot of people that will come and hang out. Oh, look, Frog G is here. See, you said we got Frog G here. I mean, what else do we need? I mean, what on earth else do we need? We got Rich. Rich is still fucking awake, okay? He's still awake. And Frog G's in the chat.
I'm still here, don't worry.
Rich,
there it is, Frog G. So, Rich, you didn't hear what I said on the stream earlier. Would you like to hear it now?
No.
Leave this up for a second. So, Rich, I was telling everyone on the stream earlier about Frog G's art piece here, because I actually am working on a Frog G's art piece. And I literally just started, and I saw yours, and I've seen a few others that people have done it for Frog G, and I'm like, I'm going to have to up the ante. I hear you. I got you. You hear that, Frog G? I'm just saying.
Now, my question for Frog is, would you like Rich to color this, or do you want it the way it is?
Just volunteer me for everything. Get someone else to color this. I'll send the picture. Okay, here you go.
I think that answers your question, Pops.
Pretty good.
Rich, are you
I
gonna
mean,
speaking of coloring? Are you gonna enter the contest for the painting that's up for my backers?
No.
He said,
All right, I will.
all right.
I already have a backer who submitted their submission for the contest. I'm just saying.
No.
You know how you might want to get an artist to do what you want, Chris?
Yeah.
Competitive nature, you know, like throw some
Yeah.
ego around. Who has the biggest brush? Like who has the biggest pile of paint laying around?
So what exactly is the contest? I seem to be out of the loop. I've had my nose too much on glass. Yeah.
Well, I'm fairly certain, and I know. Am I allowed to say that I'm fairly certain you guys backed my campaign?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I
maybe
did.
Diana, did you see the
I
email,
did.
Diana?
Yes, because I write poetry and I'm in the process of doing my own work. I'm
Okay.
actually in school for a creative writing English major.
Oh.
So I've been doing a lot. I have a couple of kids' stories that I'm working on. So when I saw I loved it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I am aspiring to be. So yes,
That's
I
awesome.
backed it. Yes, I
And
backed it.
my next book is a full-blown narrative poetry collection of everything I've done, including some poetic narrative stories. That's all fully illustrated. And what I'll tell you, Diana, and maybe she didn't tell you, Chris, because maybe she's going to color the page for the contest.
I actually I want to.
You both can. You both totally can.
We've been talking though because she wants to learn to color, and we actually before we came on the show tonight, I just told her instead of going into a course, try YouTube first. Do some YouTube video tutorials
and Diana, the guy who was on before, Joe Cat, how do you pronounce his last name? Joe's last name?
It's one of those big Italian names. That's what it is.
It's an Italian name.
I saw it. I know who you're talking about.
I actually follow a YouTube channel that he goes on as a guest sometimes, and that's exactly what they do. There's an echo. Yes. But I'll send you the links, Diana, because that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing right now to learn sequential art and to learn how to draw my comic. Because I have
Rich.
two
Rich.
websites.
You don't have to do that right now, bro.
I will look at him.
Do what?
Hey, he is awake and moving, Pops. Leave him alone, okay? You can mute him, but Rich is moving and animated. So
I gotta tell you, I love Diana. Oh my gosh, I do love Diana, but I love Rich's beard. That thing is looking good, bro.
Yeah, he's doing that to torture me.
Last time I saw him, he was clean shaven. Now he's got like coming in. It's like,
look,
yeah.
I can play in his hair and his beard from down here. Okay, so anyway, going back to the contest that I was talking about, Chris. All of the backers, only my backers, were invited to either traditionally color or digitally color one of the images or pages from the book, because I sent the coloring book to everyone. And the piece that I'm giving away for free to the backer who wins is the one called Bridges. That the painting, it's an actual painting that's a recreation of one of the images from the book.
And yes, I know this. And I haven't shared it with him because he will do it before me because that's what he does. And I really want to do that. It's my little mission.
I'll let you do this.
So I have to do it. I'm hoping this weekend I'll get it done.
I'm so glad you'll let her do what she wants. Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
And I suggest you don't show each other the work.
I know, right?
I suggest you don't tell her what she needs to do.
Run.
I'm so excited to know this, Diana. I love that. And one last thing, and we can switch talking about your book, Chris' book. No offense, Chris.
Okay.
I have another poet in the room, Pop. So what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go crazy on Diana right now. Anyway, one of my favorite poetry gurus, who is a huge spoken word poet. He performs his spoken word. Mm-hmm. His name is Douglas Kearney. If you want someone to follow to give that inspiration you're looking for, he's fucking fantastic. But here's the thing: he doesn't do social media.
He doesn't.
Of course not.
On
Wow.
my channel. This is how much I love him and how much he did for me. Stop, Rich. Anyway, I have a playlist. I have a playlist on my YouTube called the Douglas Kearney playlist. I literally sat online one night and I hunted for every spoken word performance this man ever did, and I kept adding it to the playlist.
That's awesome. I will
You know
definitely.
what? If he keeps it up, I'm going to read you guys one of his poems.
There you
Who,
go.
mine? I don't have any poems.
Poems.
All right, hold up.
The man
We're here to talk about these guys.
I know.
Yeah, why are you talking about all everybody else's other shit? No, I don't want to hear
You
none of that
Let's
shit.
start talking about Cluster Fudge too.
Diana?
Yes.
We
Nope.
were talking about Diana, and don't tell me we weren't talking about them, because them is a plural, as in Chris
Here it
and
is.
Diana.
Right.
Okay, the Amazon has spoken. Now let's talk about the book.
There you go. All right. Wow.
So where do you start?
Where did we start? Cluster Fudge 2 has officially launched. We launched it on Friday night. For us, I thought we did a really good job. We have about 8 backers the last time I checked, which brought us up to about $195 for a $500 flex goal. I was very happy with that. We're kind of new kids on the block, and excited. I am excited.
I'm excited for you.
We have added a couple of new tiers. We added a retailer tier. We just put that up because in the past, we actually had a couple of people purchasing the retailer tier. And we have somebody else asking us how to buy books in bulk. I don't think they're a retailer. It's an individual. So we wanted to
Yeah,
keep
we've
that
had some
offer.
inquiries, so we put up a tier for like a 10-pack. And our friend Lorenzo, the Sleeve Stackian, who you guys may or may not be familiar with, he always gets a special tier. So he told us what he wanted, and that's a tier that's up there now.
Tier. We've actually had somebody purchase that tier, which we're very excited about.
Yeah,
Lorenzo.
According to these guys, there's individuals all the time that aren't necessarily a retail store, but they will buy the retailer tier.
Yes.
Yeah.
For multiple different couple reasons.
We are learning.
Yeah, we are definitely learning.
Right.
The other side of that.
I just want to say thank you to Pops for having this 8 o'clock. That's beautiful. 8 o'clock. I know. That's coming our way. Coming our way.
When he said it was you guys, I asked Pops, well, can I come back? I need to come back. I want to come back for their
wish it wasn't during the time zone that everybody else schedules their shows. I want to do this again. Look, is Monday afternoon the only afternoon you're messed up, or are you messed
Friday
up on
afternoon? I can do a 5 o'clock on a Friday. I work till 6
do
o'clock.
Let's do something earlier on Friday then. Let's do this, but I'm saying let's do something earlier on Friday so we can get 15, 20 people out here watching like you deserve.
Yeah.
We're gonna like stop now. I waited until 1 o'clock to get up.
No, we're not done. I want to ask. Okay, I'm super excited because I have my Cluster Fudge 1 in my reading list, and it's like next on my in my queue. And it was one of those ones I got excited, so I opened it up, and just so you guys know, I put it in my Kindle. I keep everything. All my PDF digitals are in my Kindle, and I'm actually reading digitally now. Because I can't, there's just some campaigns I come across. And when I came across your guys', I can't pass on it. And no matter what finances are like. And I love that you had that available. And I love that because at least I can contribute, that makes me feel good.
Right. Absolutely.
And I opened it up and I was like, it was super late and I knew I was kind of not all that awake anyway. And I took one look at like the first or second page and I'm like, yeah, we're waiting until we're far more awake to do this. And I'm that excited that I like paused on it. I'm like, no, you're gonna give this the attention it deserves with like full brain. So I'm assuming, are there any differences in this particular campaign to the last one that first and foremost, those of us that saw the first campaign should know?
Well, the biggest thing might be we've added some items because of Indiegogo's setup, such as the T-shirt.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, and that features a new cover art for Cluster Fudge 1, which is only available in this campaign. That's beautiful, Rich. And because
Thank
of
you.
Pops, I actually did a traditional cover for #1, which is also in a one only tier. Like they can get the original art and the book and pretty stuff that we have planned. I've been looking for a special case to ship it in, and it is so hard to find something affordable.
But I think the tiers that we have kind of line up with what we did with Cluster Fudge 1. We felt that that was a successful campaign, so why, reinvent the wheel? The tiers, as you can see, I think that they're kind of scrolling through. We have the PDF, obviously. We have the standalone Cluster Fudge 2 book.
Ooh, nice
we also have the Cluster Fudge 1 and 2, and we have a Quivix. Quivix is one of our friends. He lives in New Hampshire. He's a fantastic artist. We met him at a couple Comic-Cons, him and his wife. Great guy. Chris reached out to him, and he
his wife's a great guy. Wow, that's progressive.
She's great. Let's just say she's great.
She's awesome.
Yes.
She's a lovely lady. No, she's not a guy, you guys.
But his art is. We were blessed to get him to do a cover for us, which I just finished coloring, and that's up there now.
And I'm going to ask you this real quick before we get too much further away from the T-shirt. So I learned this, and is the campaign you had before was on Kickstarter, right?
Yes.
And okay,
no. Well, the campaign before was the Great Cyclopean campaign, and yes, that was on Kickstarter. That's our For Everyone book.
And on Indiegogo, when you put the T-shirt, is it its own perk?
No, it's an add-on.
It's an add-on.
Okay. Right. I'm not trying to tell you what I'm sure you know, or maybe you don't know. I did not know this. I put my T-shirt in as a perk, not realizing that someone would want to add on as an add-on. So I had to go back and I had to do both because I had a backer contact me and go, hey, I want this. I want to add it, but I don't, and it's its own perk. I didn't realize that you couldn't do that. And so if you have any perks that should be an add-on or an add-on that should be a perk, I had to learn the hard way that I should have done them.
Can I interrupt for, I'll be back in about 5 minutes. There's something I have to take care of, but I will be back in 5 minutes. Is that okay?
All right. Yeah, yes. Cool.
I'll be right back.
We're just amazed you're awake. Literally, he's 8 hours ahead of me. 8 hours,
What time is it there?
It's 5:20 where I'm at. I'm in California.
It's 5.
So he's 8 hours ahead of that. So that's 10, 12.
Oh my gosh.
He's 8 hours ahead of me, and it's 5 here. So you guys, yeah. So that was what my first thing. I love this I love your naming. Okay, the fact that it's Cluster Fudge fucking cracks me up. But then you're like on the perks, it's like online quickie. I fucking love that. Like that gets me all excited.
Thank you. I did the naming.
Amen, sister. This is why I love you, Diana. This is why I asked Pops, I want to come on. And I second what Intense Web said in chat. Why y'all picking on Dory? Don't pick on me. I want to give Diana, she's as much of this project. Yeah. Okay. So online quickie is the PDF.
That's right. And I need to make it clear because I went back to edit the perk, but once somebody buys one, you can't edit the description. Yeah. But that'll include both the PDFs for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm doing that because the $5 is more or less a way for someone just to pitch and help the story go on.
Totally.
But I want them to be able to read the whole story. So I'm like, if you just throw the money in, it'll be in a folder. You can read 1 and 2, and then you'll be up to date because there will be a 3.
Yeah.
Did you put that in as an update in the campaign for people to know?
Yeah, I did that this afternoon. Yeah.
We updated that.
Why am I not? How do I even not know? Where was I? I have never mind. My weekend. My weekend was what it was. So
no, I actually just did it this afternoon because I went to adjust the perk description, and because they've been sold, I'm like, I can't change the description, so I just went ahead and put an update in. I was like, well,
to let people know that they were doing Cluster Fudge 1 as well.
And I love how you can say to a backer, you back any of these these perks, you're going to get an online quickie.
Yeah.
You get an online quickie. There you go.
I just love the wording because the next perk is the physical copy of
Yes,
two. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And they'll get that online quickie with it.
Yeah.
And does that include that as well, Chris? I'm assuming that if they back that perk, they get both.
So because of the printing time after the end of the campaign is about a week or two,
Yeah.
I love to send out PDFs to everybody who backed on that first night when it finishes. So everybody, and it's funny because some people dive right in and some people say, I got it, but I'm not going to read it till I get the book. Cool, but at least you got it. And it's a way to kind of distribute the work out there, hopefully generate interest in regular readers and things like that.
But I think she's asking, is Cluster Fudge 1 going to be added in every?
Yeah.
Yes. So every tier will also get Cluster Fudge 1.
Yeah,
as a PDF.
As a PDF. Get the online quickie, and if you know that the online quickie is a tag team.
Exactly.
I like how she thinks. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is how I think. At some point, my job is to hopefully get Pops to have to put up the disclaimer. So anyway, I love that the T-shirt is a black and white image. I've talked about this a few times. I'm assuming that is that's one of your original pieces, Chris, right?
That's the original art. Yeah.
Yep,
Is that
art that was generated? That was made specifically because Pops and Rich said you really need to do some traditional art. So
my Grim Reaper T-shirt was pretty popular. As soon as I didn't even do it until like middle of my campaign. But 100%. I love the art. And so is this with this Down and Dirty? Ooh, crank it up.
Yeah, it's because it's got Cluster Fudge 1 in it. I believe that package is, or is that the single? So the first issue will have the new art.
I'm sorry, my bad. I skipped the Quibix variant cover of CF2. That's the next part.
Yeah, that's our buddy, and I'm really happy with his work. He's just a great guy, and he goes convention to convention and just draws like gothic horror stuff.
Yep.
So when I was doing Cluster Fudge, I was like, dude, you'd be perfect to throw a cover together.
I don't think he has a big online presence at this point.
I think he's a superstar, but
I mean, you can't he has, I think, Instagram.
Oh, he has Instagram.
He has an Instagram account.
Hold up now. This is where you play into his future. He did a cover for you. You bring him on these shows with you.
Yes.
Well, I just tell you,
his name is
share that love, share that spotlight. Bring these people out here that don't have a big presence. Allow us to give them a presence.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I think we broke his. I think this was the first time he was on a stream about his artwork because he was totally like. We brought him into our show and he was like.
On Friday night, he was one of our guests, and he was like, "Whoa, I've never done this."
I found his Instagram. I found his Instagram. He also has an Etsy shop, and
yes,
for sure. Oh yeah, he's got.
He's just one of my favorite people of all time. I meet a lot of people when we're.
Why, thank you.
Ooh.
Yes, Rich. I love Rich.
Holy shit, his on that. Okay, I'm gonna get sidetracked looking at his art. Okay, so the next perk we were talking about is what I was saying earlier. It's called. I love Diana. I'm now your best fan because I love the naming of your perks. You're right up my alley. We think alike. Down and Dirty. Crank it up a notch. We get the online quickie. We're gonna get.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel bad. The retailer
clearly, Rich is back. Okay.
You'll be able to tell when I named it.
Chris did the Crom and Judgment art. Yes, Chris did the Crom and Judgment art in Tin's Webs.
Yes, that's one of mine.
Yep, that is
done.
Chris piece. So, wait. So with the Down and Dirty perk, it's already been claimed. I'm assuming it's gone then.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not the big one, is it?
No.
That's going to have the
more than one of these can get because it says it features the pencil cover.
Right. When you go down, further, there's a big one that I don't think it's buy, but we put it there. Yeah.
Well,
I see. Okay.
Here's Lorenzo's special pack.
I get it.
Chris named that. Chris put that up.
Well, every time we've done a campaign around Lorenzo, we have to put together a tier because he goes, what if I want 2 copies of this and 1 of that, and maybe I want a metal card? So we just started going, okay, here's the Lorenzo tier. There you
So
go,
now
brother.
we just added
There you go. That's awesome. I love that. Like that almost that's obviously, you know, there's a guy, Pops can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a man named Chris or someone who likes to be killed in comics.
That would be Chris.
There should be a perk for him. Like there should be a perk.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like where they just so the Lorenzo perk special. What is Lorenzo special? What's so special? Let's go see.
So what's special is basically it's everything that he wanted to buy all in one tier so that he can get it. So it's got 2 copies of
one.
Number 1, number 2, and variant.
And the variant.
Yeah. So he wanted 2 of each, and he's like, "How do I do that?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's your tier. This campaign. If that's what you want, that's what." And he's, "Oh yeah." So that's
and
what that.
And that was going back to what someone had suggested to me after, of course, it was too late. And I was not going to sit here for hours and recreate the whole thing. But someone did suggest that you make every perk in your campaign an add-on. So that if someone wanted to do something like what you're describing, they could. And I didn't know. It was my first campaign. And then of course,
I'm sorry. If you add up the totals in the Lorenzo thing, there is a discount there because we love Lorenzo. So we don't. If he's going to buy a bunch of stuff, I'm like, we got to knock some money off of that. We can't check. So
who's this Lorenzo guy? I'm jealous now.
You don't know him
yet?
You don't know. Well, clearly we need to know who he is. And secondly, it means that thanks to Lorenzo, there's other people out there that can back that same perk and get all that cool yumminess.
Are you talking about Lorenzo Sleestack?
Yes.
We know Lorenzo Sleestack.
Yeah, Lorenzo's awesome.
Yes.
And of course, you have your retailer 10-pack. Now, I'm going to ask this because I've seen it asked and I've seen it because I'm a live stream junkie. Have you considered doing a half pack of 5 copies?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
there's a few guys out there that's what they want. They can't use 10, but they can use 5.
Right.
I just almost put up a 5-pack, so we're gonna have to revisit that and put it up after the show.
Do that.
But
or you could put it in. You could put it in. You could be like me, and I don't know what Diana's answer would be, but you can go like, well, when this fucking retailer's perk sells and I run out of those, then maybe I'll give a 5-pack. I'm just kidding.
No, actually, our setup is quite flexible, so we're able to do the various packages easily.
And then
I want to segue into something here. Since
we have one
webs
to talk about.
So Chris did the Crom in Judgment art. Yes, Chris did that. And Chris, Diana, this guy is the guy that is making this all happen.
Well, hello. Nice to
meet you.
We'll be doing a stream here in the future covering all that, telling people how they can acquire the NFTs, all the stuff. We're going to come out and do a complete instructional video on how to purchase NFTs, how to get involved in what we're doing. There's a uncommon amount. It's like you have common where you make a whole bunch of something, uncommon, not quite as many, rare, very few, and then, like one of a kind. There's different levels of doing this. We're doing this experimentally right now. We're going to see how this works out. We made a bunch of Monday Madness ones and a bunch of comic-related unboxing ones. And I'd like to get to the point where I'll be able to give one of these to every guest that comes on the show. Okay, if you come on Monday Madness, I can give you a Monday Madness Crom NFT for coming out on the show, right? I'd like to get to that point where I can, reward everybody in some way. But in order for that to happen, everybody has to have some kind of a wallet they can receive and hold NFTs in. Right. So we're going to have like a tutorial. We're going to teach people how to do this. And, we're going to start the Madness Comic NFT Network too.
Let's do it.
Right?
It's awesome.
So, that guy.
Okay. So we're at the last perk in here, which is called Over the Top.
Yep.
That's the big one with the original. I was
trying to come up with a really raunchy thing to say about it, but Diana, I feel like you missed on that. What is?
Well, I was thinking, I had another name for it, but
Did we call
I
this the
just
gangbang?
can't.
Hold up.
Could this be the
You have
gang?
another name for it, and
I told you.
now you can
I
say
did it on purpose. I said gangbang. I've officially said it 3 times now. So is this the line them up and take a number tier?
Oh, God.
It's
It's the magic labia version.
Here.
Right?
There's only one because it contains the original art of the T-shirt, and so yeah.
Well,
it's
and
just-
she says in the T-shirt, but it's also becoming the Cluster
the new-
Fudge 1 cover.
right, because the Cluster Fudge covers that we have now, we know we're not printing anymore. So the
Okay.
new cover is this is the
Oh.
Cluster Fudge
The
one
color's
cover.
a little washed out in the video,
Hold on.
but yeah, this is the Cluster Fudge 1.
Let me review for those watching or who's going to watch later. They're going to get the second physical copy, the variant physical copy, the Fudge 1 copy, and then this original art T-shirt. They get the T-shirt and a 14 by 11 original pencil art. Who is humming over me?
Yes.
Is that Mr. Parada?
Nope. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just chilling.
Uh-huh.
All I hear is pencils scratching
He does.
paper.
I almost think he does what he does because he knows he's 8 hours ahead of me, and it's not like I can come bop him on the head.
That is not true. I am merely creating right now.
Oh yes.
So continue speaking.
If you speak in Tom Middleton's voice, I will come bop you. Saying for everyone watching who's gonna watch later, 300 is a fucking steal.
Yep. It is.
I actually talked to some people and they were like, it's a little low, but because it's our first offering of traditional art, and because basically that's what I do. You asked Diana, I always try to give like everything
He
away.
gives
so
everything away. Yeah.
I was like, why don't we just offer it as a prize? No.
Is this how you got him, Diana? Is this what you this how you
I just gave myself away. I was like, here, honey, I'm here.
Can I ask you guys a question? That big old drawing that I did before, is that a perk or a reward or something like that yet?
The drawing that you did was on I think the first show that we did with you guys, and we were promoting.
It goes to a backer encyclopedia.
It goes to a backer encyclopedia. We picked a number. So the person that
Oh wow, really?
It
Well,
wasn't
no,
me.
you picked a number.
picked
No,
it.
it wasn't him. It was Pop's
I know.
grandkid.
I know.
Yeah.
It
All
was.
right.
his grandkid picked the number. Remember?
All right.
I have a piece coming.
That would have probably got you a couple hundred right there. It's like
Probably. I know.
Well, I was using
What
your
you should-
that's why
what you
to just give away free art because I was like, well, Richness did it.
Well, when did I do that? When did I give away free art? When the hell did I do that?
You did it on the show.
When did you do?
You did it on the show.
Rich.
And this guy doesn't even know he's won it yet because we're waiting for it to come over. You still gotta tell me how much and all that, you know?
God, that guy's dumb if he doesn't know.
Oh, you mean Rich has to mail it to you?
He's gotta mail it to us so we can mail it to the backer. Yes.
Well, I wanted to show it on the show tonight, but all y'all talking about all your campaign and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, no, look at my art, it's awesome. But no,
Weird thing
you want
is
to talk
like
about your
We've
campaigns.
gone
through-
Listen, prima donna, we've
Hold
gone
up.
through all the perks.
Hold
You're
up.
more than welcome.
Hold up. I'm taking the show over right now. I'm taking it over. Look, Rich, we've only been out here for 33 minutes. We're out here talking about Chris and Diana, and we will cover everybody else in due time. We've only been out here for 33 minutes. I know it's late where you're at, bro. But we're going to talk about what you do like we always do.
Oh, I don't care about me. I suck. You know. but-
you do not suck.
Wait, I'm not muted anymore.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry,
not
what?
muted anymore.
I love you, Rich. I really do, but I'm so glad
Okay.
that him muting me wasn't to yell at me. I'm just saying.
Okay. No, that's fine.
I'm usually the one in trouble. I'm not
You know,
even kidding.
Sometimes I just have to cut you off so I can get out what I'm trying to get out. It's not that you're in trouble.
Pops,
just-
take a look at this thingy.
What do you got? What do you got?
Pops, you know you want to spank me every now and then.
You know what this is?
You
This
know
is
what?
the.
This-
You know what the Mrs. Frog?
It is the Cyclopean Cantessi.
Yes.
The Cyclopean Cantessi.
Cyclopean's girlfriend.
Oh, that's fucking cute. Oh, thank
Booty.
you, Intense Web.
Booty.
Look at her
Booty.
little
Booty.
tushy. That looks so
She's
cute.
got some junk in the trunk.
I love it.
This is Cyclopean
Cyclantessi.
So,
Cyclopean Cantessi.
Rich,
You
will
know what?
will you please show us the piece that you had out? Will you show us your?
Well, let me pull it out and let me just unveil it and unsheath it. You know.
Pull it
so-
out. Now you're gonna have to stand back a little bit. I don't want to get
Yeah, I
hurt.
know. I don't want to poke anybody in the eye with this thing.
you might actually make a baby over there. Damn.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah, that's
I'm
free.
saying,
So
this is
That's
going to
beautiful.
one of the backers. They were
after
saying.
like killing someone. Okay, yeah, this is going to one of the backers. I will draw. Oh shit! You know, I wish we had wish I had a little bit more advanced time to do another one of these for you guys.
You're doing
Wait,
it.
did you say? Wait, did you say you were gonna do something else again on a Friday or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
talking
sure we
about
will.
Wait, 1 second. 1 second. How much power do I have? Okay.
That looks so good.
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
make
you.
that a t-shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
That was excellent for a
But I,
teacher.
Make it like a tank top that like girlies can wear during wet t-shirt contests and stuff like that.
all right, guys. So this is the piece that
They
we are
can't see
getting.
anything yet. Wait,
Oh,
it's
wait.
richness.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 what? What? Put that back up. What?
Go ahead, Diana.
Oh my god, that's really amazing. Who did that one?
That would be me.
Christy.
Chris did.
Chris, that's
on your-
fantastic.
This
This
is
is
what's in the for the big tier. This is the original piece.
This is in the gangbang tier.
exactly.
And
I like
Gangbang
that
here.
gang tier. Can we change the name of it?
I don't know. Maybe
I'm gonna change it. That would be so cool.
The gangbang
I like it
tier.
on- I like it on top. That's what I was gonna put.
Rich is getting caught up. Like I missed the gangbang.
Wait, do you have a bukkake tier or anything or?
Oh my god, Diana. We need a tier. We need a perk called WAP.
Well, you have the WAP tier. No, wait. Okay.
I am going to shamelessly steal your ideas for naming my perks because my next book is called "This Is Not Emotional Burlesque," and it's about being naked emotionally. And oh my god, girl, I am shamelessly telling you right now, I'm going to copy your idea here. And when I name my perks.
Half at it, sister. No worries. That's awesome.
Oh, I can't. We're not going to talk about my campaign because we're talking about yours. But as a poet, to tell you, Diana, the guy that's doing my cover does cheesecake pinup art and sexy stuff, and he's doing a likeness of me for the cover. And all I can say to anyone who's listening is, when you see the cover he's doing of me, you're welcome.
This is not emotional burlesque. Blah blah blah.
Thank you, Frog G. Frog G is
and
awesome.
thanks for posting that cluster fudge link.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome, Frog G. There.
Rich,
oh my god.
Rich is so about ready to pass out.
I'm fine. I'm completely fine.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be a new hairdo. Love it.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the richness.
Oh God, no! Don't ever do that.
It could be time for another stream. Could be a time for another clipper stream.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's if my third campaign goes to 5,000 Americans. So there you go.
I want to go back and say we can play the trailer. Would be
Challenge me, Rich.
now would be. I don't have my screen shared, Pops, but do you want me to share it? I do have the campaign up.
The trailer is very powerful.
Yeah. I just realized that. I'm like, I wanted to get, I was so excited about the perks and what was offered in here. I totally forgot to ask us to play that trailer.
May I, 1 second
Like I
before you
said,
play
we've
the
only been
trailer,
out here.
if I may.
We've only been out here 39 minutes. We ain't in a rush up in here, but I'll play. I'll play.
Guys, 1 second. It is almost 2:00 in the morning in here. I'm a little bit tired. Are we doing this again on a Friday?
I don't know, Pops. Are we? Pops?
Maybe.
Hello?
Because I heard you guys talking about it before.
Well, we have like 60 days to do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
mean, we
will
don't have to do it this
yeah.
Friday,
Right.
but maybe in a couple weeks or
No,
something.
no. I want to do it this Friday. I want to go
This
Okay.
Friday, yes.
I want to
What
do
time?
it earlier in the evening so we're not getting stomped on by every other stream out there.
Yeah,
Okay? Just like I
you wanna
usually
go-
do earlier in the evening.
She said
know.
5 her time,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah,
That's
I've done
fine.
work by 2. So
Which is
10
5
o'clock
your time.
but
10 at time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
is that
Yeah,
better?
10 o'clock. Yeah, well, no, you don't have to adjust it for me. I'm just saying that it's like 10 o'clock would actually be better.
Listen, I adjusted my shows because there's too many people out there nighttime, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, too many streams. I brought my show earlier in the evening so that we get viewers.
That's right. A good
Plain and
smart
simple.
move as always.
You know, I mean, so,
Yeah.
5 o'clock is fine. That works for me,
Then send me the link. I would be honored to show up again on Friday, and
And you'll be awake.
I'll be awake, and I'm also gonna be, because the two of you are such sweet, lovely people, I am gonna draw yet another Cyclopean thing, and I'll draw a Cyclopean in a really, really kick-ass pose, and I'll do it live while we're all like here and having fun and stuff. So
you want to really draw something weird, Rich?
no, I want to be nice and vanilla like I always am.
Like Chromian.
Yes.
Say Crumb and Kentesi.
Oh yeah. Go get some sleep, man. Go get some sleep.
I will. Good night. Bye.
Good night, Rich. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Rich, again for doing that drawing for Frog G. That was awesome.
He really wanted to be here with you two, by the way, Diana and Chris.
Yeah,
And
oh my gosh.
I know he's exhausted and yeah.
He's
but
an awesome guy.
He really did push it to be up this late because when he heard it was you two, really earlier when we were on the show earlier this morning when Pop said who his late night show was, Rich was like, "Whoa, hell yeah!" He's been up, yeah. So
and that's because of me, because I work until 6 and I don't get home till 6:30 or 6:45, and I completely forgot when I said yes to Pops for tonight, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in my fall schedule, I can't.
And I was like, oh, you're gonna make me go on there by myself again, which isn't bad. I just know she's the eye candy. Without her, there's no show.
No, it's not even that. It's just sometimes he does and says things that I'm like, ooh.
I always make her cringe. Yeah,
I probably shouldn't have said that.
I always make her cringe.
I like earlier we were talking about how I'm Pops' co-host for the New Timer show, and I literally feel like it's partly my job to make it weird.
She wants to break these first timers in. She wants to break them in like riding them hard so that they know what to expect on all the other shows where they're really going to break down that campaign and really critique what somebody's doing. Dory's really good at preparing them for what's coming as they go on some of these other shows that are way harsher than we are.
You should tell them she's not looking off in the distance. I actually have a huge monitor over here. And so when she's looking at you, she's looking up there.
This funky setup. So guys, he's got the camera like right here on his desk.
Get it.
I'm at the corner of the desk. And I look there so I can see Pops because he's got the camera. I can't see Pops. So when he's talking, and I like to look at people. It's like somebody's talking to you, you want to look at them even though they can't look at you. It's just like courtesy. So
I know it's weird, huh?
It is.
Like I look at people when they're talking to me. I look at them on the screen, which is down here from the camera.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the camera's up here, and I look at the camera, and it's like I look down there. Up there. But I try to put it like right above where the people are so that it doesn't look too far off.
That's too much.
Yeah, exactly.
So this campaign has 27 more days.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And what was I going to ask you? Oh, so for those that don't know or didn't catch the first campaign, we're going to watch the trailer, and then you guys can give me, like, you can tell everyone what the stories
What time
are
it is with the story?
without any spoilers. Without any
Yeah.
spoilers.
We kind of did do this
Really?
backwards. We kind of went through the perks first when we should have kind of like told everybody what the story's about first. But we're all right because that's the way we are. It's madness.
I saw online quickie and I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah, I know.
I love it.
You just took the show over, but that's what we love about you. You just take the show over. It's good.
Listen, by the time I get on here, Pops is exhausted. He lets me do what I want to.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna play this.
He lost his volume. There it is. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I love the combination of the seeing all the images, but then how they were zooming in and out. I think that's a great added. I like that.
Thank you.
You know, because it makes the eyes stay focused when you're watching the trailer. You stay, and I'm not some great filmmaker, but I do all my own spoken word poetry videos, and when video is all one flat with like rather if you can't animate the images and animate the video in a way that draws the eyes in, and then that music along. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So who did your video?
Oh, I did.
Chris does video. That was one of his first things. Chris is, a lot of people don't realize about
Chris.
Chris.
Seems to be awful multi-talented.
Oh, I see. I'm going to relate. I'm going to high five Chris because keep going, Diana. I got you.
People don't realize what he can do.
My list is long.
If it's creative, you know those guys who can fix like any car or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Creativity, it's very much that way. And the thing is, I just do stuff, so it's never the way the pros do it. You know? So I always like learn all the wrong things and then have pros go, no, fix this, do that. And it was that way with music and with art and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like I get asked this a lot, Chris, and I don't know if you get asked this, but I get asked a lot. Why do I write and do the art? And because it's a really long list, and I know. Well, one, I'm easily bored. Secondly, I'm not paying anybody anything I can teach myself how to do.
Exactly.
Okay, that's just who I am, and like I even like right now I have a couple of webtoons I'm doing it's a comic strip, but someday maybe a comic book. I don't know the first fucking thing about sequential art. I got no interest. If I draw something once, I don't ever want to draw it again. Like I don't ever want to have to draw it again.
Yeah. Like that.
But I'm doing it. I'm breaking that thinking that, and I blame Pops or credit Pops, whatever you want to call it. Like, it got me in here, and now I'm here. I'm here. And it'll probably take a year or two before my artwork and my webtoons looks like it's anything really good. but
that's okay.
But
all right.
that's what I'm doing. I'm down for it. I'm down. It took me, but it took some time. It took me, but I love what you just said, and I know that's what usually gets me is if I. Now, car stuff, I'm calling my godson. I'm a chick. I'm a proud card-carrying member of the female. I'm not working on this car.
No, I'm not.
I'm calling a guy.
Like, we got Munchkins saying goodnight to Grandpa right now.
Good night, Munchkins.
Hey.
Nice to
you.
Bye.
Say good night. Good night. Yeah.
I'm being Dinosaur for Halloween. I'm being Shark.
Shark.
I'm being
Ooh,
Any particular kind of shark?
All right. I will see you in the morning.
I'm a shark one of my Pokemon.
Do I have to get you guys up in the morning?
No, Mommy is.
Mommy, you gonna be here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sophia, come on.
Yeah, come on. Gotta go. Love you.
He's like, good
See you in the morning.
I hope that my kids, when I was younger, or when my kids were younger, I was like, I hope they never have kids. I didn't want any part about being a grandma. And then now I'm like, when you give me a grandkid, like it wouldn't take long. And my oldest is now, he just turned 18, so he shouldn't even be thinking this way, but my brain's already twisted. It's already going there. Like, ooh.
Leave him alone for a little while. Leave him alone.
Yeah, we're all set for the grandbabies too, and we're
ready.
just in wait. You know, it's like we got four young adults circling the airport. We're like, somebody land, let's go.
Well, my oldest is 18, right? My youngest is 16. So I told my oldest that he officially has 2 years, because once my youngest is 18, I'm going. Yeah. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not going to be settled down. I'm not going to be tied up in a building, in a house. I'm either going to go walk the earth, or I'm going to give my life to the Peace Corps. I'm a single 51-year-old woman now. I got no interest in being anything settled anywhere. Once they're out of the house, I'm like, I'm out of here, y'all. Yeah. Peace, bro. Now, if a man comes along before then and wants to foster care children with me, then that's what I'll do.
Yeah, we've done the foster care thing. It's that's a really cool journey to go down.
Yep, we did that for about 10 years.
Yeah,
I knew there was a reason. I already loved you two, but I was a foster kid.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
I was a foster kid that had no one, and literally from the age of 18 till now, I've had me. Right. And when I hear that is the one exception to the Dory wants to be a Bohemian gypsy, walk the earth. That is the one exception. Yeah. Is I will not do it alone. I refuse to do it alone. I no interest in fostering children alone.
Right.
And finding a man at my age is pretty much, I have consigned myself to know that dating at my age at 51, I am going to end up with a rescue. Yeah. And
I love you. Oh my God.
It's one of my stand-up jokes, I must admit. That's actually, I did write.
I love it.
It's my stand-up joke. So the chances of finding someone I'd actually foster children with, I mean, that's like, as my oldest would tell you, and we can move on and go back to your book. My 18-year-old said that he said, me finding anyone good enough for me is as likely as finding a unicorn. That's exactly, and you know what? So far, he's been right.
That's so crazy.
But see, now I just know I am the unicorn. Okay, so going back to your video.
I was going to say, you are the unicorn.
I am the unicorn. So Chris did the video, and did you do the music, or did you use like a copyright-free thing off of Ben Sound or something?
Yeah, no, actually, I just perused the YouTube royalty-free stuff there, and
because I'm just saying, at this point, Chris, you should do what I did. I did a spoken word poetry album this year, and I did all my own music.
Yep, wow. I theoretically could. I have all the equipment still.
You have an iPhone, you can do your own music.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm
He's a
all
Mac
Apple
guy.
here, yeah.
He's a Mac
That's
guy.
The
what
thing
happened
about
to
it
me.
is the time that it takes. Like when I start doing music,
Yeah.
it becomes like comic books, and then it'll suck up all that energy.
I get you, man. I totally
Yeah.
get you. I 100%. So rumble.com, call me freedom. So yes. So
You
Pops
say
did
something about spoken word. You say something about spoken word. There
yes.
you go, right?
Can I talk about
Is
poetry?
that her video stuff?
No, last time I tried to talk poetry with Diana Pops, you yelled at me. Just kidding.
Because you were talking about yours, not hers.
Did you miss the part where he said my poetry was going to inspire her poetry? And did you miss the part, Pops, where the only reason the illustrated haiku series even existed to inspire Diana is because of you?
Yeah, I know. I hate that. God damn it. Look. You guys, come on. It happens all the time. People be like, man, I did this because Pops. I did this because Pops. It's like,
Yes, but it's
no,
true.
this shit was already in your heart. I just gave you a little nudge, y'all. Just
Okay.
a little nudge.
Yes,
You
but
know?
let's you know what? Shameless self-promotion 50-50, right, Pops?
That's
Yeah,
all right.
that's why I'm running that banner right there right now.
Chris is at this moment he's typing it in.
Okay. And Diana and Chris and Pops. So spoken word poetry, that is what Pops has down below. It's one of his poems called Call Me Freedom. It is not his only poem, but he shared that with me. I'm so fucking ecstatic that he did a spoken word poetry video. And Diana, you may that Douglas Kearney
And
when
that
I
guy.
earlier.
And this guy right here.
Thanks,
This
Pop.
guy
This
right
guy,
here is the guy who put the video together.
Yes,
Okay.
he did. And it's wonderful. It's really done well. And Chris does videos, so you'll appreciate that technicality as well as the creativity. And what I was going to tell you guys is what Douglas Kearney would say, and I shared this earlier, and spoken word poetry should at some point be spoken, because that's the whole point of poetry. Poetry originally was what those guys, the town criers, and they called them, what did they call them at the champions with the knights? There was always the guy that would introduce the knight. What's that guy?
Yeah.
You know, not town. They weren't the town. They were called something. But that was our first poet. They were our first poets. They were our orators. Thank you.
That's what they were called, orators.
Like, someone help me with this word. And so a lot of my actual poetry is not, I'm not going to say it's better necessarily, but it is. It is. A lot of what I do now, I will not put it on any of my books or in my books and publish it until I've spoken it out loud. Because what I've learned by speaking it out loud, some words don't flow right, or they may sound right on paper.
Yeah.
They sound perfectly
the
good.
minute you speak it though, it's like, ew, why did I put that word there? Right? Yeah.
Or I'll hear myself use this, like I've had to get a thesaurus. Like the thesaurus has become one of my best friends because I've had my vocabulary has grown with it, because I'm like, there's got to be another word or a different word I can use here. And so I'm really excited that Pops has this out now, because he's actually in my haiku book. I went ahead and added a haiku he wrote in reply to the one I wrote about him.
Very cool.
He wrote a reply one, and you if you've looked at the PDF of the coloring book, Diana, you've probably already seen it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
So I have to ask Pop something. Is this the music video you tried to send me last night?
Yes, that's it.
Because last night you sent me a stream video that I watched for an hour. There was no music in it.
No, it's 43 minutes in. It's 43 minutes in where they got to it. That's the exact
all right.
mark.
So I'll go back and recheck it.
Time mark. So
yeah, it was played during a live stream. And Frog G,
I must have missed it because I watched and just kind of fell asleep to it. I was like, I don't know, but I'll try to watch
at some point. I'm sure it's it's scrolling at the bottom, but Frog G also Pops. He put the link in chat for those of you that are watching.
Yeah, I've got it on my iPad ready to go when we get off the stream. We'll check it out.
Now, I want to say, I really want to say to Good Stuff Comics Gator, he's the one that put the video together. but the intro to the video, you're old enough to remember Rick Monday snatching that flag out from under those clowns and was trying to set it on fire on the field, right?
Oh yeah.
That's how this video opens.
Mhm.
I didn't tell him to do that, but he couldn't have picked a better freaking opening for the video.
Very true.
Okay, it was perfect. I like to let people do what they do. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't say, hey, you might want to change that. You might want to change this. But for the most part, the video, the music, and the background vocals is little good stuff. Their daughter, you know, I mean, dude, it freaking rocked. I was blown away. I really was. But all credit to this guy, man. He put a great video behind it, you know. I think that somebody else who actually has experience with spoken word could have made that sound better, but I wrote it. It's me. I own it, you know, just like that, you know. So, but it's good
I have
stuff.
it running in the backing inadvertently.
I think, you know, you know what, Pops, it's just going to take time, because I'll tell you right now, I go back and I listen to the first original spoken words I did last year, and I go, oh man, you know, I have that voice that's good for it, but the poems I do now, the spoken word poetry now, my videos like this year, ooh, way better. Way. And part of it is because, like I was telling Diana, part of it is because I literally sat here and I sponged up every single performance Douglas Kearney ever did. And it was similar to what Pops did with me when Pops said, go illustrate your poetry. Okay. So like I had done poetry, and I've been a voice, I've used my voice with comedy, or I've used my voice with short films, or I use my voice in all these different ways, but I'd never put spoken word, really, not really.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when I did, I didn't add the performing part. I didn't add the part where I'm actually thinking of it as a performance.
Mm-hmm.
That came this year. And that is
because it is a performance. It is a performance.
100%.
You know.
So I have a question, because now that I have my hooks in you, tell me, Chris, how many are you planning this? You have a set number of the issues for Cluster Fudge?
For Cluster Fudge, it was supposed to be a 1-issue story. It went to 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the experts got in my head, and now it's to 3.
Ooh.
It could go 4, but it's definitely got an end. It's not going to go more than 4, because if you see the cover on the screen right now, the girl in purple there is actually the fruit of the end of the story. And so, like, I'm teasing her there, but there is a point where the story ends, and a new chapter begins. So it'll be outside the Cluster Fudge world and into her story.
That's rad.
I'm actually really excited because I've never written anything quite this intricate.
And then like that's gonna go on and do like I don't know, you comic book guys can tell me, is that called a spinoff when you take a character from one comic book?
Yeah, it could be, definitely.
Is that like a spinoff series kind of thing?
Yeah, the limited series.
Limited.
So Intense Webs asked me what graphics programs besides HandsDraw do I use. So for Crom, that was actually all done in Procreate. And my traditional art is just started up again because Pops and Richness influenced my...
God damn it, Pops, we just leave everybody alone. You just leave everybody alone.
But I got to tell you,
true.
I went out and I bought a Bristol pad and I sat there and I played with it for a few minutes. And then I remembered why I like pencil art.
I love when he draws pencil art.
So I'll be doing more of it, but that's really what happened.
But he drew a really badass Crom. I just want you guys to know he drew a really badass Crom, but I don't think we should unveil that dude till like Halloween night or something. He's like out there.
Yeah,
he's like out there. Right?
That was 45 minutes, bro.
Dude, it's sick. You guys are gonna love it.
Well, and Chris, I know how you like art, and you are an artist. The guy who was on our show before, his name is Joe, and I know Frog G's got the link.
I believe it is.
He doesn't ink his pencils. He pencils all his original art, and he doesn't ink it. He'll color it digitally, but he leaves his pencils alone. And I was tripping. I'm like, that's rad. Like I've started to do that. Because of you, the influence of the comic book guys, creators, I stopped touching my pencils
Okay,
when I'm
let me tell you something that with this one friend of mine. Okay, the guy that I got the Jedi Pops from, Smitty, John R. Smith, he sent me the original pencils, and then he scanned that and inked it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he scanned that and added what little color there was to it that I wanted. So I have all three of the originals of that. I have the pencils, the inks, and the color.
And that's what happened. Now, there's only 2 of what you have from me, but that's exactly similar to what the art that I gave Pops. I got that particular page when I got to it, when I was doing my book. I had stopped painting the originals. And so what Pops ended up with was a penciled inked original as well as a painted copy, because I've been, a lot of the comic book tutorials and there's one called How to Draw Comics that I'm following. And
this part is her shirt. This part is her Reaper
Grim
shirt.
Reaper. Yes. The Grim Reaper is what I put on one of my shirts. And so this in the chat, Joe Catapano, he is someone who goes on that How to Draw Comics thing. And I don't know the first thing about, like, I do this, like I'm like, and so I'm learning, and I'm learning, like the guy said today, and one of the ones I watched, he said, no matter what you do, whatever you end up choosing to do, make sure it's what you want to be doing.
Exactly.
And the way you want to be doing it. And
Exactly.
I'm learning that there are certain things that I'm not okay compromising. And then there's other things I'm like, oh, this is fucking fine. This is great.
Well, with me, it was just a matter of wanting to do it. And I don't know. I read one little book about it, and I had done it as a kid. I messed up a lot of things in the beginning and had to work. And now I'm doing full bleeds and 2-page spreads. But when I first started, it was all 9-panel boxes. You know what I mean? Like very rigid.
Oh yeah, the problem. I mean, I huge tons of stuff I still have to learn. I mean, there's so much I don't know. But probably one of the most important things is, like I said, I don't touch my pencils anymore. And then the other one is learning to storyboard and thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, thumbnailing, because I love what Diana said. She has some children's stories. I just recently thumbnailed a children's story, and submitted it to our dear friend Mike Jimmy with Fairies and Ints, and he's such a sweetheart. He's like, you're gonna need to storyboard this, because there's literally their thumbnails. I thumbnailed every line of the script. So there's no Chris laughs. So there's no real organization of what's on a single page. And he's like, so basically he gave me instruction, and now I know what to do. I'm going to take those thumbnails and turn them into page storyboards. You get me. Chris knows what I'm talking about, because like he's looking at this going, every single line of the script has got a thumbnail. And I'm like, well, yeah, I thought that was the point.
Well, yeah, but you're learning, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. And so now at least I thought about it afterwards. And this also, Diana, came to me because my children's book, as it was in prose form, narrative prose,
right?
It's better now having rewritten it as a script for a book. Yeah. But get this. I read the new version to someone. I read it to them. Yeah. And I recorded myself reading it, because I guarantee it's better read, because it's meant to be read. It's a children's book for a parent to read to a kid.
Exactly. So one of the things I just wanted to say is that when I edit Chris's books, I read them out loud, because as you were saying earlier, the spoken word, man, you can, you're as a writer, you think, oh, I totally get it. Yeah, you meant get it. But the next person reading it has no clue what you're saying, or it's kind of like diluted, or the point that you're trying to make is not exactly what you're making in the written words. So Chris and I have used that technique from the get-go. Like I will literally sit and read the entire book or whatever he has written and drawn as part of the editorial process.
Well, you should try spoken poetry, because she actually plays out the parts of the comic book when she reads it.
Oh yeah,
I bet you'd be really good at performance. Spoken.
Totally. And the other thing I'll tell you guys, because this came to me, because I'm like I said before, I'm a live stream junkie. I watch these streams about comic book people all the time. And one of the biggest things that I don't see us doing, and I think we're missing money that we could be making, to help with the campaigns, is audio books of our comics.
Yeah.
And the reason that came to mind is because we've had people in chat who they're blind. I'm not blind. They're
deaf.
No,
blind. It is blind.
Blind. They're not deaf because it's audio, guys. They wouldn't hear you. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I work with
all due respect.
No, you're right.
That's one of the things that it came to me one day and I'm like, ooh. So for my this not emotional burlesque narrative poetry novel, I'm going to do a spoken audiobook. And cool. It came to me for a couple of reasons. I did my first album this year with my own music and my own poems. But then I also am currently as of this minute being considered to read an audiobook as a voiceover or voice actor.
Yeah,
so I'm like, how rad would that be?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And Diana, you're already reading them out loud when you edit, so you can create the audiobook and be the voice talent on his audiobooks.
I did record it once, and I got in so much trouble.
He did not tell me he was going to put it into a live stream.
Oh, well.
It's like
I recorded it, and then I put it into a video.
And like I try to make the man voices like, so what's going on? Like, hello. Like I literally read the book as the character, or I try to, and I'm not very good at it. But I get into like the book, and it helps me to really relate to the story, visualize what's going on. Is the character believable or not believable or whatever? But yeah, it was a hot mess, and he put it online. I almost killed him. I'm like, please don't.
It's really cool though, but he's on to something, and I think that's going to be awesome.
I think I agree with you. I think that's something we should all do. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm just, and it's one of those things. When it came to me, I thought, oh, you're gonna keep this to yourself and be like that.
Could happen.
That cool, unique chick that has it in her campaign for the first time, and I'm like, no. I'm telling all my comic book friends, I want my campaign friends to all succeed. Because let me tell you, the only time, and I know you guys are getting sick of hearing this, the only time I legit think about having an OnlyFans account is when I can't afford to back books or buy art. It really is, and it's sad. And I'm like, someone needs to buy a painting so I can go.
I know.
I need to shop today. I need to go shopping. No, I am hopefully, cross your fingers, I'll be hopefully doing this audiobook and getting another day job. So
yeah. Well, I get it.
Well, we've been really blessed. Like through the whole COVID thing, we were considered essential workers.
I was.
Yeah. So I mean, we have. We work the day jobs, and then the night becomes the comic book fest. And
I just left. I worked in healthcare for 32 years.
Yeah.
And I willingly left a job with no other job lined up on purpose because I was done dealing with those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. Whoa.
I love that guy.
That is hot. Look at that.
I love it. He's like, what shall I do next? It's either Cron and Judgment, or he's like, what madness am I going to create? I'm that's so funny. I had already thought about this, and Diana just hit on it. One of my creative I'm a student, man. I'm a sponge to learn, and doing other voices or doing voice impersonations, things like that. I know the talent's there. I've just never cultivated it, but I know that that's next. I've got to do it.
I have more
It's good
huge
to-
background noise. That's why I'm muted. But I just
It's
want
okay.
everybody to know that is one of
There
the
it is.
NFTs that
Intense.
will be available or is available. Actually, I just ain't out here telling everybody how to get it yet. But we will be getting to that later in the week. I promise. By Friday night, hopefully, I'll be able to have a real good grasp on how this works, and y'all be able to pick up some. I mean, this is like experimental. When we start doing this for real, it's not going to be 500 or something or whatever. It's going to be very, very few, and I mean, we'll make them worth wanting to have. Not everybody's going to be able to just pull it off the internet or whatever. The stuff.
When
we're
does the
going to be
tutorial
offering-
start?
Yeah, this is like an experiment, but the stuff that we're going to be offering later will be stuff nobody ever showed anybody on the internet yet.
Right.
You won't have, it's like you won't be able to just go pull this image off the internet. It'll be, it'll have some meaning that it's in your wallet. That's kind
Some
of
exclusivity. So when does your tutorial thing come on?
Well, we're going to go talk tonight and tomorrow about that. Maybe tomorrow, because I already know this dude's going to have me. He's going to have me working for 2 hours after we're done here.
Holy crap!
But yes, next run will be serialized and unique. So it's like we're going to try to make this as appealing and enticing as possible, and get people to maybe jump in and put some art in your wallet, baby.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get asked every now and then why I don't watermark anything or why I don't do any of that stuff on my art, and I'm like, they could go put it on fucking toilet paper. I'm happy anyone likes it, let alone uses it.
No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you owning some unique art that not very many other people own. Like it's just like having a piece of art on the wall that I know nobody else has. Same thing. Well, it's in my wallet. It's on my wallet.
I get it. This is where the artist in me goes. I know me. I met me, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kidding. I love your work, Chris. I know that.
Well, thank you. I was just gonna say though, that's why I really am a good match with Diana, because I am totally like business. Without her, I'd be,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make everybody some money, I mean, whatever we can do, right? I mean, every platform, we keep saying it. It don't matter if it's Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Amazon, NFTs, crypto wallets. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can make money with your art on a platform, by God, use it.
Yep.
Period.
Exactly.
Hey, this is why I say sex sells, and I got no apologies for being flirty or whatever I might have ever said to anyone on a stream. I'm like, just kidding.
A little eye candy never hurt.
Oh, this is true. I must say, yeah. So have we covered everything in Cluster Fudge 2 for our people?
I think we did cover the campaign. That's why we got so sidetracked.
No, we're good. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything. I know we played the trailer and we've got an idea what's really rad. And I think the reason I wanted to ask,
this is what I want. I want the elevator pitch. Which one of you is going to be the pitch man?
No, yeah. So in issue 1, we had a superhero who was retired, lost everything, and was looking to die. In issue 2, he is ready to die, but they're not letting him go. And they are the people involved in issue 2. They're the ones that are warping his life, and they are dragging the little girl into it. If you don't know who the little girl is, you need to find out, though. Yeah. Is that elevator enough, or should I make it more punchy?
I like that. No, like I read the thing in the campaign, and I don't want to know much more than that. That even when when I asked about like where was this going to go, how many issues or episodes or whatever, I was like, duh, what you said was enough for me.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't want to say.
I was like,
I won't let him.
Yeah, she keeps me on a muzzle because I will ruin the whole story.
I was the one that put my PDF digital aside because I wasn't awake enough to read it. I'm not about to go there. I'm like, I got to be more fucking awake for this. And I'm like,
I do appreciate that.
Oh yeah, and before I got before I met Pops and I got into this comic book world, if you had asked me if I was going to become a digital reader, I would have said, "What are you smoking?"
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Really, like I'm the purest fine artist who works on canvas. I don't even want to talk to you about digital.
Right.
But I have become one of those people that has come to understand its value in a different way that I hadn't thought of it before. It's less money for creators to get the book to people who can't afford shipping, especially out of country.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
whether, and as the person buying and backing and hopefully getting to participate in the story and hear the story, read the story, I don't want to miss out on anything. And if that, and I'm not fucking rolling in the dough. I don't have paintings selling every day. If I did, trust me, I have thousands of dollars on my wall. Okay.
Well,
thousands of dollars on my wall. But still, the point is if all I can back is a digital, that's what I'm going to back, because I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that instead of having to sit back and be for me in my world. I want to be able to participate. I want to get the story. I want to have part of the story. You bet. Do I want it? Do I want it? I get printed of everything. I would totally get printed of everything if I could afford it.
So I just want to add to all that, like, my primary focus is to get the stories out there. So if you can only afford a digital copy, that's fine, because it's not just this one campaign we're after. We want our stories and our heroes and our characters. We're looking for a bigger market. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want everybody to know, hey, the Great Cyclopean, I know that character. Or, hey, Clusterfudge, wow, he's a really dark, kind of cool dude, a little on the wacky side. I can relate to him. It's all about relatability. Our characters need to be relatable to the world, right? So, like, if people are looking and they can only afford the $5 PDF, then, you know, that's great. We're hoping the biggest challenge I find is that, you know, we've had every campaign we've run has been successful. We keep a bottom line very low. We want to be successful. We want to get our books into your hand. We want the people to enjoy the stories, and we want feedback. So any suggestions on how to get feedback from our readers, whether it's, hey, that was a rockin' story, I loved it, I could relate, or this was awful, this was sucky, what were you thinking? Like, all of that stuff, because we take any kind of criticism, even if you don't know how to word it in a diplomatic way, we take it, and we don't take it like, oh my God, I'm never going to write away. We're like, oh my gosh, like, they totally didn't get it. We have to better ourselves. So I think getting feedback from people who have bought our stories in the past is crucial to our success. That's just my thought, because I don't draw. I make like cute smiley faces with funny ears, and I do write, but, you know, I don't draw or anything like that.
That sounded like a bedroom story. I do funny faces and little ears. Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
I'm excited for you, Chris.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, I really, really am looking for that feedback, like an honest to goodness. Read the books. Let us know the artwork. Every time he does a book, Chris gets better. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. Every time he pens something, he gets so embarrassed. He hates it. But every time he's drawing, I'm like, oh my God, that's better than it was the last book. And, you know, so I'm just looking for that kind of feedback.
And you know, you just reminded me of something that I want to say, and Chris may appreciate this. Mind you, I'm new to this world, very new to this world. This year was the first year I read a comic book since Archie. Okay. So one of my webtoons is a romance comedy. And I was like, you know what? I don't know the first thing about this. I don't know the first thing about comic books. I really don't know the first thing about this. Taking my comedy and the romance of poetry or whatever and putting it into this kind of a storyline. So I go to the public domain and I get a hold of Young Romance, which was a comic book that was done by Jack Kirby and Simon and Kirby. And I've been reading that. And it took some time, but I had to find a specific app that'll open those kind of files, because the public domain files are not PDFs. And that was why I put Clusterfudge away and wanted to be more awake when I read it, because when I opened it and I started going through the first couple of pages, Chris's art reminds me of that classic comic book art.
Yep.
I love the comic book art in comic books now. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm not trying to put any negative on it at all. But your artwork reminded me of what my eyes have been seeing in these classically beautiful art comic books from way back.
I super appreciate that.
So there you go. There's my feedback.
I totally
I'll
appreciate
talk about
that.
the rest after I read it.
Yeah, awesome.
Would love to hear from you.
Thank
And
you.
it's kind of funny because Cluster Fudge 2 was drawn 4 months after, because I did another book in between it. So the art differences are going to be huge when you look at the quality of 1 versus 2. And this one, the next one coming up, it won't be as severe though, because we split book 2 into, it's different for the 3rd issue. But like she's right, every issue it just gets a little cleaner, and that's just becoming more patient in the rendering. The underground sketches are the same. It's the finished work that's improving.
Yeah, the one webtoons I have that I was mentioning, Chris may know. Do you know who Peter Palmiotti is?
I do think I do know that. Yeah.
So he's one of my favorite gurus. He's one of my mentors. I call him mentor. He doesn't officially have like a teacher status with me, but he took me under his wing and he helped my YouTube channel grow to over 100, and he started giving me feedback totally, because I got to hold my hands in him. I'm like, teach me everything.
Yeah.
And he was one of those first creators that I didn't tell him to do this, but he went and he found my webtoons. He heard me say something about it. I mentioned it. He goes and he finds my webtoons and he reads all of my episodes. And he comes back to me and he's like, yeah, no. And that's not exactly what he said, and he did not say it like that, but that is the gist of it. Okay, that's seriously.
Yeah.
I was not taking it seriously. I couldn't have given 2 fucks about it, to be honest. The writing was what it was. It was my comedy, and it was fine. But it was weird that this woman doing these fine art paintings was doing this sloppy bullshit in this webtoon, because I didn't care. I'm laughing, going, it's a webtoons.
Yeah.
And Peter Palmiotti is like, he's like, I'm not going to tell you what you should do or what you should change it or whatever. But he no holds barred told me exactly what. Yeah, no, like that's the gist of it.
That's good.
And so now I'm like 11 episodes into, because I stripped it away, I deleted it, and I restarted it, and I'm 11 episodes in now. It's all like the best that I can do. All I can tell you right now is that every time I do one of those episodes now, the art is as good as it's gonna fucking get with my skill set today.
Yeah.
And that I couldn't have told you that when I did my first round, because I was like, I don't know. I'm just caring about. All I cared about was the joke and the comedy of it. I didn't care about it. And he's like, and I can tell. It's like I can tell. Man. I love that about the creators like yourself, Chris, that have been around and done what you've been doing, and then you meet people like me, and you're listening, and you're willing to hear our struggles. I love it. I love it because
it's like we're in the same pool. We're just at different places in the pool.
It's a journey, guys.
Yeah.
Day by day, it's a journey, and you learn from each other. And that's why I think that the indie group as a whole, whether you're writing, whether you're drawing, whatever it is that you're doing, I think that we need to continue to encourage each other and support each other, because
I've lost count of the number of times Rich Parada has said to me, there's no way I'm going to do a painting like one of yours.
Right. Exactly.
And I forget that sometimes. And I go, anybody can do abstract realism or abstract symbolism or whatever. And he goes, no. And it's humbling. It's super humbling when you see what he's capable of doing, like the stuff he showed earlier. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
So, which is one of the reasons why when Pops tries to say he's not an artist, I always kind of yell at him.
Yeah.
Because he totally is. Or there he is. I'm like, yeah, you are. And by the way, speaking of artists, We have this incredible genius artist in our chat modding for us right now by the name of Frog G.
Yes.
Yes, I see this.
He not only is one of the best mods that's ever existed on the face of the planet, but he's also an incredibly creative, talented genius behind artistically. He creates dice for role-playing games, and I know that's not the only thing he does, but just as creative in the skill what he does and how he does it. I'm like, I look at it, I hear, I've seen his dice, and I'm like. You know, I've seen diamonds that didn't get me half as excited as Frog.
Right.
I'm just waiting until he gets really, really good at it, and then it's going to be Crom dice, baby.
Yeah. Real, man.
I'm not saying he's not good at it now. I'm just saying I see the progression as he keeps trying different stuff, and I'm just waiting until he comes out with that one balls ass set, and I'm going to be like, yeah, do that, but do it Crom.
It kind of reminds me of like the genius chef who, and I know it's dice we're talking about, he's blushing, but like that genius chef that will use the most out of the ordinary, like who would have thought of putting that ingredient in this dish, right? Well, some of his dice sets and some of the pieces he, like the things he makes to put the dice in, and I'm not even a royal player. I had to be told what RPG stood for.
And then she goes, what does that mean, though?
What exactly is that, right? I'm right there with you.
And then Diana, you'll love this, Diana. Then I had to ask what the game master guy, I don't even know what they're called. What is it called?
Dungeon master.
The DM. So then get this, Diana, and we think alike. Wait, let me get to the wall where Diana's head is. We think alike, girl. So I go, what's a DM? And then they tell me, and I'm like, oh. I've had a few of those in my life, but we were playing a whole
different dungeon, right? Yeah.
There was no cards and dice involved, and I feel like we missed out. Oh, that's 3 times in one day. I feel like my work here is done. I'm like, I don't know, you know.
Okay.
But yes, I had to have DM explained to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I live in a world of like lots of online gamers and video gamers and all of that. I don't do any of that.
Yeah, she's surrounded by
and
I
do like watching people play video games. My brother, out of all of my siblings, my brother, no offense, sisters, but my brother was my favorite. He was my favorite, and he was always playing video games and had a band and all this stuff. So I loved watching video games. But maybe I cross comics. I'm not saying that I have some ideas. I'm not saying that I have some ideas for Crom dice.
But he's working on a few ideas.
That's awesome.
No, I could totally think of this is not emotional burlesque type of dice game for couples that would go really great.
Now look, hold on. Before you even start on that, write that down somewhere, so that later on you can roll that around in your head a little bit when you're not talking to us about other shit.
You're right. That's exactly right, because what I just said out loud was genius, right, Popsy? This man has my back.
There's all kinds of games why wouldn't that play to that genre? Why wouldn't it?
It would go perfect with my poetry collection. And it being, dice, I know exactly who I'd be calling about designing the sets.
There you go. See? This is what we do. It's called networking.
I already have it's so funny. So, and Pops, you can tell me, you guys give me your feedback. There's enough comic book guys here. So I started this, I already published it, so I'm good now. But when I first conceived of the Bot Burkers, which is one of my webtoons, someone's like, shh, you shouldn't say anything until you publish your episode or publish your thing or whatever. And I'm like, no, man, I'm going to shout it from the rooftops right now. So that if anybody tries to steal that idea, they'll be like, this sounds awfully like something Dory said 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it
You
still
know,
don't work. It still don't work. They
They'll
just
still-
change the name or they change the race or they
Yeah.
change something and then they
Mm.
still go out and steal your idea from
Is that
experience.
Doc?
Yeah, it's not.
I got that right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So my bot burgers was like that.
This
Now
is
it's
this is the
officially.
third time today, Doc. This is the third time today, brother.
Yep. Third
Yeah.
time, and twice with me. He's had me twice.
I'm gonna turn that around the other way. She had me twice because she's been in charge of both shows.
I would need to have once is never enough. I've got to hide. I usually my first words to any man who wants to date me is fucking hydrate. Just start hydrating now.
I gotta hydrate just talking to you. Fuck.
Are we gonna need another disclaimer? So Diana, what are we gonna put in this perk you're gonna call WAP? Oh,
I have to think on that.
the ladies. Oh, Rich.
Hold on,
the
Dory.
answer.
Read that. Dory, read that.
Anything you guys and gals can do can be burned to the blockchain as proof, immutable.
There you go, right there.
No idea.
Anything
I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna nod my head.
Don't know what that means, but I'm sure I will get.
It means anything you do can be protected and saved that easily.
Ah, the non-fungible stuff.
So what I did, okay, well, I will tell you that before I did my episode and I had said that and someone had made that comment, I did go that very day, similar to what Pops just told me to do about the couples game. I went to Webtoons and I created the Webtoons and I put the description, I put my name and all that jazz, even though my episode wasn't drawn yet. And I did it because they were right. Like, yeah, you know, okay, someone could take this and steal it or whatever, sure. But my first episode was done in a week anyway. So I did go do that though, because of that. But I do have an answer to what I asked Diana. So Rich earlier talked about that one sketch Chris, that you showed. He said,
cover sketch?
I think it might have been the piece he did, the one where he did
it. Yes, the Cyclopean one.
Right. And Diana said that would be great on a t-shirt. And Rich said, put it on a woman's t-shirt they can wear for wet t-shirt contests.
Yes.
And I think that would be a perfect.
And buy really thin
merch shirt. That would be the perfect shirt for the WAP perch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Merch. I don't like your perk. Merch perk. Try to say that 10 times.
Now, I do want to say we've been out here over an hour and a half. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Round it up.
As you can tell, Diana abandoned me. She went to the bathroom. I don't even know if she's coming back.
She better come back and say goodbye anyway.
But
while we're waiting for that, while we're waiting for that, I want everybody to know, go check out Cluster Fudge 2 on Indiegogo.
Yes.
Go get up in there, back that son of a bitch, and get you the good books, right? That's what I'm talking about. I will talk to you two both again on Friday, and maybe a little bit in between now and then as things develop. You know,
if you have any Crom ideas, let me know. Like I said in the text.
Yeah, I will keep you guys totally up to date on what's going on, what's working, what isn't. We just need to encourage people to pay attention when it comes time to do this video, so that everybody knows how to acquire these. You know, and then we'll do some rare stuff that they ain't gonna be able to get no other way. If y'all like Chris art, if you like Chris Crom art, trust me, there's a piece of Chris Crom art that y'all don't know shit about. That's badass.
And don't forget, the two of you are going to color one of the images from my haiku book
this weekend. I have it planned for this weekend.
Okay, because I want to say, because the intention is to announce the winner on the 30th.
Okay.
So we have like a little over 2 weeks.
Yep.
During CromCon?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going
Very
to
cool.
I'm going to be on CromCon on that Sunday.
Hollow CromCon.
Right, Pops? I'm on Sunday.
Yep.
Is it
Sunday
Sunday
is
or
the
Monday?
31st.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm coming on Sunday.
I mean, you come on whenever you want, Dory. You know what's going on.
Yeah, well, no. The point is yes, the winner of the backer contest for coloring the image from my haiku series will be announced during CromCon.
Okay. So I have a
You
little
can check the
bit.
schedule.
I told my backers the 30th because that gives me the 31st.
Right.
Well, this works anyway. We don't know for sure. Go look at the event post, see what time Dory's going to be there, and while you're there, hit that yes, I'm going on the event post. Get the Facebook to help us push this thing around a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We need that algorithm popping. If everybody would go hit yes, I'm going, yes, I'm interested, something on the actual event post in the madness, then we get more play. You know, I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
So everybody have
he says stuff like that, and I'm like already like opening my Facebook. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go check as soon as we're off here because I can't possibly. And I'm like, I don't know. Did I hit set reminder? I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? It's like I build that event post so that everybody can always find the schedule. You know who's going to be there, what day, what time. I always create that event post for that purpose so that I don't have to answer that question a million times all month. Everybody saying, who's going to be, what time is Chris going to be there? And Dory, what time am I there again? And Rich, am I even going to be awake at that time? I don't know.
I do know for a fact that I took my sleeping in thing into consideration and the fact that I plan on being fully dressed. In some kind of Halloween costume. I've already.
I'm glad you
finished that. Is the other thing. We encourage all of the guests during CromCon to please dress out in the spirit of the holiday.
I plan to.
It'll be the most time spent on wearing the least amount of clothes that I'll probably have done in a long time.
Look at that. This guy knows all about all this shit. That's what I'm saying.
I see this. I'm reading it. I
He
started
knows
researching
all about all this stuff. This is the guy that's putting together what we're doing.
Ownership.
You know, I mean, we're going to come out. We're going to talk to everybody. We're going to let everybody know how this works.
I'm excited about that.
Even has resale royalties feature. Okay, you know, I mean, so
I've heard a little bit about that. I just don't know enough about it.
And back cluster fudge.
And back cluster fudge, yeah.
And back cluster fudge.
We are going to do a tutorial. We are going to talk to everybody about what it is we're building. But CromCon is expanding. It's growing. The Madness Network is expanding. It's growing. We're not going to stop, man. Every speed bump that gets in front of us just makes me step a little harder on the gas, baby.
Hallelujah.
Straight up. You know, every closed door I've been standing politely outside of. If there's a light coming under the door, I'm kicking it in, man. I don't give a shit. It's time to rock.
This is why he and I get along, no matter what anyone may think about how we talk to each other sometimes. Because, like, you know, growing up the way I grew up, I had to learn really early to kick life in its fucking teeth and tell it, you are not beating me today. You're not winning today. And I've had to do that more times than I can count. And that,
it becomes a skill.
100%.
Straight up, it's like I haven't even been trying to win for me.
Exactly.
You know, all my life I was either building something for my son or building, you know, like this, building something for you guys. There's no telling how long I'm going to be here. I got to get this shit built. So you guys got this platform to work with, even if I'm gone. I expect it to outlive me. This ain't about me. It's about building a platform for you guys.
Right.
And that's what it's been about since we started doing this, since the day Emerald City went down. It's been about building a platform for you guys. And it still is. And we're just going to keep trying to make it bigger, keep trying to make it better. And if I can make you guys a bunch of money, I'm happy. You know, I mean, that's, you know, I'll be real happy if we can do that. We put something together that's solid, that everybody gets behind. Shit, ain't no stopping us.
Yep, that's true.
And getting Diana on board to illustrate a book and campaign it's next.
I don't know about illustrating, writing. I'm surrounded by amazing artists. My daughter Krista is an illustrator, fantastic illustrator, starting up her own business, quit her full-time job, kind of doing that whole thing. So we are going to have her on our show, and my husband Christopher, maybe.
Do you hear that, Pops? They have a daughter that's an illustrator.
Yeah,
She should be demanding.
I heard everything she said.
We've got more books.
We got more books to publish. The daughter on the show yet? What's up? What's up?
I just got to get the books written. I got a lot of ideas.
I'm going to tell you another little thing that works really good, playing on the heartstrings of your fans. Where's your? This is my daughter's original art tier.
Yes.
Oh, that's coming. That's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She has an Instagram, and I want to share it so badly.
I mean, the tier on Cluster Fudge where they can get a piece of her drawing one of your characters.
Does she not want you to share it?
She said she's not ready yet. She's 27 and just really working hard, and as a mom, it's amazing. But even her stepdad is like, yeah, no, this girl is.
No, she's always.
There's only one thing I would say. There's only one thing I would say about that. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed. Get what you can get now. It took me a long fucking time to learn that lesson. Get what you can get now.
Yeah.
And that's why she has me as a mom.
I can relate because I did not let someone who wasn't family see my artwork until about 6.5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we're prepping her. We're going to have her as a guest on our show with some of her original pieces. Nice. She is illustrating the Kid Clopian story that I'm in the process of writing. It's Cyclopean, the Great
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, the Cyclopean story as a kid. So Chris has handed that over to me. He's given me a rough outline, and I am.
That's so rad.
And so all I have to do is write it. I don't have to illustrate because, like I said, my God, I've tried. People have tried to encourage me to draw. Oh my gosh, it's not fun. I stress out. I can do stick figures, right?
Oh, this is do a lot. Yeah. Well, and I get you. Even though I can draw, like the way that they draw, like the comic book guys were, especially when they're recreating the same person on the next page.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think of it.
I kid you not. I look and go, I just drew that fucking guy. Why would I want to draw him again? Like that's where this goes every single time. Like,
copy and paste, baby. Copy and paste.
I learned that a few of my digital creators have given me some tips on how to, not copy and paste, as simple as that, but there are ways to create some of the things.
Yeah, you can skew it a little bit so it's like a different angle. Yeah. So, you can do all kinds of stuff.
Remember how we were talking about being passionate about what you want to do?
Yes.
So that does not kindle any passion in me.
And that
does.
And that what you just said is exactly why I haven't given up on learning what they're doing and how they're doing it, like learning how Chris does what he does, because I look at it now and I go, okay, like I said before, it may not win me any fucking awards, but it's better than it was yesterday.
That's right. Moving forward, one step at a time. I will be more interested in coloring, so I'm very excited because I love to color. Like I have all kinds of pencils and stuff like that's what I do to relax. I'll put a movie and I'll color, but I'm not very good at it. But I don't care. I love it. So I will be doing a piece. Yes, I will be.
And I'm gonna cry now that I'm listening to her, and I know she's gonna color one of mine.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. And that was not about I don't even care if I win. It's like. You set these goals for yourself. Like, I need to finish my first book. I need to finish my poetry book. I have all these things that I want to do. It's like, I wish I could stay awake for 24 hours. But
that's what
going to happen.
That is exactly the point of madness. It's the point of promoters or creators promoting other creators and being a community and a family. That was one of the whole reasons that putting together a coloring book was even came to me, was because I thought about it. I'm like, part of my art, my fine art paintings, part of why they are what they are is the creative freedom of doing whatever the fuck I want on canvas. And knowing that someone's going to take one of those and do whatever the fuck they want coloring, like Diana's going to do.
Yep.
It just brought me to tears. Like I can't even stand it. I can't.
It's exciting to be able to do that. You know, it's exciting to be able to take somebody else's, you know, whatever it is, and color it the way I think it should look.
Have you decided what image you're gonna do yet?
No, I haven't. There's so many beautiful ones.
Don't tell me. I want to be surprised.
Yeah. Nope.
That's going to be part of it.
I'm going to do it. Chris is like dying. He's like, I can't even believe it.
I mean, it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store listening to you talk about paint.
Listen, I didn't tell him about this until you said something.
But this conversation.
I never even said, by the way, I'm going to be coloring one of Dory's. Like, I didn't tell him anything.
But this
I just said to him, I said, oh, by the way, I backed a book. So,
but this conversation,
so sorry.
I'm relating to because Quibix's cover, I colored it, and that was the first time I've ever colored anybody else's work.
Right.
So I can relate.
It's exciting.
And I can relate because in addition to the fact that Diana coloring whatever she's going to color, whatever the other backers submit, it's the first time anyone's ever even been invited by me. A woman who used to not even show them her. I wouldn't even show people any of my art. It was 6.5 years ago. I had an ex-boyfriend. I was catfished.
Yeah.
I was dating a professional surfer. And he ended up being a fucking painter who painted on surfboards.
Oh my gosh. I can't even believe it.
Yes, he did, Diana. He was a surfer, but sure. Okay, I'm dating the surfer who ended up being a painter, and he would paint these. He would literally take 9-foot surfboards and paint paintings on them. And when he found out,
Chris, he painted surfboards.
his paint, like I do these. The largest painting I've ever done, I don't even know how big she is, but she's not a fucking 9-foot surfboard. And when he saw one of my he saw my first piece I ever, like not my first piece I ever did, but he saw one of my pieces. You guys have seen Fast Times at Richmond High, right?
Yeah.
He was totally Sean. He was Piccolo. The man didn't yell. He didn't say boo. He was stoned all the time. He was a complete blonde hair.
Hey. Back up off the stone guy.
My point is he was the coolest, chillest, what up, dude, on the face of the fucking planet until I showed him that art that night and he raised his voice at me. It was he's like, what? You can do what? You don't show this to people? And then he goes, the infamous last words. Is there more?
Guess what? There's not more. I have 10 minutes till 10 o'clock. I'm playing some commercials and I'm getting out of here, damn it.
I know.
All right, fine, Pops. See ya. I love you. Mwah. Love you, Diana. Love you, Chris.
Hey, you guys have a great night. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. Frog in the chat, as always. Love you.
Frog, you're awesome.
Frog G, I gotta go sub you. We're out of here.
I might get with you tonight. I might get with you tomorrow. I don't know. Let me go run down. Let me go chill down a little bit from this. I've been doing this for hours. So
he's been with me for hours. He's gonna need to chill.
Get a little break. Chill out. And, you guys have a great evening. Back Cluster Fudge 2 while you're there. Get Cluster Fudge 1 so you don't get left behind. You know what's up. Go sign up for that emotion. This is not
emotional burlesque.
Illustrated narrative poetry. Go check out that damn video over there on Rumble. I mean it. Go check it out.
Queued up
it's
and ready
really
to go.
rad. I watched it last night. And
I would really appreciate. I would appreciate feedback and I'm sure Good Stuff Comics Gator would like to know how you feel about it too. So, by all means, go check that out. And y'all have a good night. I'm playing commercials.
Night, love.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kepp at CKOEPP.com today.
The city of prosperity. Riches for some, but for the masses, scraping by is all they can do. Meet Bitna. It's a rough life with an even harder reality. Living in the roughest part of town, it looks impossible to make it big. But maybe she will find it in a simple dress. The Radiant Sight, a new romance story by Martin Fisher, now on Indiegogo.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line, see. And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136. I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho. Santa-Stein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution. We've got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Sunsworn Wings of Vengeance is funding now on Indiegogo. Don't miss this action-packed space fantasy adventure sure to rekindle your love for the genre. Get it now on Indiegogo or just go to sunsworn.com.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month,